Hey, what's going on, man? It is your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live.
Industries most wanted.
Big Industries Most Wanted, not the little one, man. Listen, we got a beautiful, beautiful young lady checking in. She goes by the name of Miss B. What's going on, beautiful?
Hey y'all, how's everybody doing? You checking in? What's up, girl?
Listen, thank you so much for being here. We was already cutting up, having a good time before we went live,
Yes,
right?
yes, ma'am.
Definitely. Well, go ahead and give us that introduction. Tell us who Miss B is. The little one, man.
Okay.
Got a beautiful,
Well,
beautiful young lady checking
I'm
in.
pretty
She
much
goes by the
well.
name of
Like I
Miss
said, I go by the name of
B.
Miss B, and I am from Huntsville, Alabama. A lot of people know me from doing a lot of things in the city, just even from my childhood times, basically dancing, cheering, stepping, being on step teams, and then when I got older, I got into music. So I am like an ex music artist. And I actually put an album out back in 2014, but then that took a turn and I started getting involved with other things in the industry, such as hosting celebrities and, all types of stuff. Owning a clothing store in Huntsville, Alabama. So yeah, so it just, it's all around the board. Like I try to get my hands in everything. I'm never content. I love to be active in a lot of things, and everybody be telling me to slow down a little bit, but I'm not gonna do that.
No, no, we only get one shot at life. We have to fulfill
Yes,
everything
ma'am.
that we can. Listen, and I love that. So let's take it back a little bit of, earlier on in your journey. I know that you were a music artist, talk to us about that time period in your life being a music artist. How was that for you?
Around the time when I started, like I say, I started in grade school. Like I started really growing, having a passion for it back. I say literally like fifth and sixth grade. That's when it started. Like it started like to the point like I started being in groups with other friends and stuff in school. So we had like group names. We would do talent shows and stuff like that. So it was like it was ongoing, and so I had the experience of recording in studios and all this stuff since I was a kid, basically. So, as I started coming up, I started taking it more serious, started recording, started doing more shows, started shooting more visuals, as video shoots and all that stuff. So for me, like the experience was great. Like
Yeah.
I got to travel, I got to promote, I got to, network with certain people, but then like I said, it took a turn. Like I started realizing when I got into the hosting industry, I was moving along faster. So, and I started meeting all these celebrities and stuff like that. Not saying that the music couldn't have ever got to that point, but it's like I went with the route that was working,
Yes.
and I feel like if I would have pushed myself in the music or if I would have kept going, I think I would have been bigger than what I was, because like, it's still people today that always say, why did you quit? You need to get back in the studio. You need to record. You got it. I don't know why and I'm just like, well, you give me some time then. Give me some time. Add some time to my schedule and I will.
Right,
So
right.
it's life. Like life when you get older, it's like I didn't have the responsibilities that I have now as an adult. I didn't have bills like that. I was just living.
That is facts. And being a
Like
music artist is very expensive. It's not
it
a cheap
is.
business, and it takes, like you said, a whole lot of your time. So it's like when you have family and a full-time job and you do hosting, and it's like it's difficult to have that work-life balance to fit all that in there.
Yes, ma'am. Like it's just a lot. And like I said, people just think you can just jump in the music industry and just, blow up. Everybody don't have that ability to just get it off the muscle like that. So most of the times it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of money. Cause you're gonna have to pay for your success as a music artist. Like ain't nothing free. Everybody gonna want something out of something. So, it's something to think about for sure. But if your passion is on it, then I say go for it.
Absolutely. No, you're 100% right. And I think it was one of the guys from QC that said, I'm sorry, plug my laptop in before it
You
dies on
good,
us.
girl.
He said, that would be terrible. He said that it takes, hold on. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. He said it
You
takes about
good,
a
girl.
$250,000 to blow up a record.
Yeah.
And what artist independently has that type of money sitting around? So it's like if they don't have it in their own pocket, they're going to have to find other ways to potentially blow up, maybe getting out doing tours, find an investor, and I'm not trying to say that to discourage anybody, but it's just real life. That's just what it is,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we have to be real and truthful with ourselves. Tell us about growing up in Huntsville. What was that like for you?
Oh man, Huntsville was, it was a place to grow up in. Like I said, like back to saying that I was active. So, I was active in school, I was active in sports. And of course I had my little time in the streets too. Like I'm not, gonna sit here like and just make it seem like I was just this goody two shoes type of girl and just, never got my hands in the stuff. Like it was always like an experiment. But growing up here, like I think it was the best because the city is Huntsville isn't like Atlanta, so it's not like a huge city where you have to travel everywhere you go. Everything is pretty much right around the corner. But
Yeah.
I would say that I've grown to really realize that growing up in a city, a small city like this, but it is growing. I mean, it was something to really look forward to and basically be who I am today. Like I had time to really figure things out. Like it wasn't like it was a full blown rush. I did
Yes.
get into, growing up, like I said, I'm not perfect. Like I have my issues with a lot of people. I stay get into brawls. I stay, I've never been that type of girl that's never been like where somebody would feel like, okay, well, let's pick on her. I've always been that way. But see, back then it was just like I didn't talk.
Understood.
I
Understood.
didn't talk back then. But as an adult now, when you realize you have things to lose, like I look back at how I used to be and I choose never to go back to who I was unless somebody just really, really, you got to really push me.
Right.
but
Absolutely.
but growing up, like I said, Huntsville is just one of those cities like you could get a lot of things done, but I just feel like, it is one of those cities where it's hard to get famous and come out of. Like you got to do more. You got to go out to different cities. You have to travel. You have to network. You have to go push yourself to be better if you want to be better in something. Because as a artist or anything like that, it is hard to come out of Huntsville. Like
Yeah.
not saying it's not possible because it
Sure.
definitely is, but it's just like, the networks and people and stuff like that. We don't have a lot of networks that of people, within the city that's just gonna really push you or be like, okay, well, let's just go. No, you gotta venture out. And that's
Right.
okay.
Yeah,
You just have
absolutely.
to, want to be better and you gotta want it. So if you want it, you gotta venture out and go get it because
Definitely.
it's gonna be hard to come out of a city like this. But I love Huntsville to death, born and raised, and I never, ever, ever look back on it because
I
it's
know
where I'm
that's right.
from.
Yeah.
It's where I'm
We have
from,
to
baby.
represent our fun facts. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to Girl, I'm blind. Shout out to Marissa Fletcher checking in. How you doing, love?
Wonder.
Oh, hi,
Hey,
beautiful.
mom. Knew she was gonna be on there, child.
Listen, that's what it's all about is having people listen, mothers are irreplaceable. I lost my mother a couple years ago and it was the most devastating thing I ever encountered in my life. It's still difficult. So, shout out to Marissa, your mom checking in. Thank you for being here. She's both of our mom tonight.
Yeah, we both our mamas.
Definitely. So let's talk about the transition when you went from being a female artist to a host and a promoter because you've done some big things in that side of the industry. What was that transition like for you?
Well, and the thing is, it just kind of happened. Like it wasn't planned, and that's what's so weird, and that's why I think God was in the play for me because it's just like it was one of those things. Like, okay, I was headstrong in the music, and then one day it's just like somebody brought an opportunity to me, and to be honest with you, I wasn't gonna do it because I was just like, no, I don't think that's for me. Like I'm a rapper. I'm a rapper. Like I don't do that. Like I'm not getting on there doing that. Give me the mic and let me spit instead of me give me the mic and let me hype up the crowd. So, like I said, the first opportunity that I got was with Young Dolph, and it was here in the city. Rest in peace, Young Dolph. He was my very first artist that I was able to get the chance to host, and that was back in 2011. So when I went on stage, I was scared because I was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I don't know how I agreed to do this. Kendra, my real name, I said, Kendra, why did you agree to do this? But then when I got up on that stage, something hit me.
Yeah.
And then I just went for it. And it was like one of the best shows that really I feel like that highlighted who I was as far as hosting. So
Yes.
after that night, it was just like after that night, everybody wanted to try to just book me or get me involved with something because they felt like this is what you need to do. Now, was I the best? No, of course not. But did
Right.
I make it look like I was? Yeah, I
Yeah.
did for that first show, and I was shocked, because I was like, this isn't the same person. Like, who is this person? I was like, I don't know who this person is. Like, so I really just, it was one of those things, like, it just came on its own. And then, like I said, after each show, it just started to get bigger and bigger. And then when I looked up, it was just like, dang, I done hosted all these people. Like, I said, how did it even get to this point?
Yeah. Listen, you
So
put that hard work in. People
yeah,
seeing
yes,
that.
ma'am.
You
Yes.
have that type of energy that's infectious. People want to be around you. And you also probably know how to control the crowd, talk to the people. All that stuff is important because I've hosted a lot of events too. And it can become very nerve wracking when you're in
Yeah.
front of a crowd of people because people are critical. They'll talk about you.
And you gotta make sure you hit it right because see, and that was my worry too. I was like, what are they gonna say about me? I'm gonna wake up in the internet, the whole internet gonna be talking about me. Like, who is that? Or why did she even do that? But then, I woke up the next day and everybody was just showing a lot of love about, you should really keep doing this because this is something you're good at. And I never knew I was good at it until I tried it. So it just really it happened on its own. I didn't
Absolutely.
I didn't try to pursue it. I didn't do anything like that. It just happened. So, like I said, thank you God for showing me I had another talent within me because I never knew I had it.
That's the best way, I think, because it came to you so organically. Like you said, you
Yeah,
didn't really try to make it happen. You didn't try to force it to happen. It just happened organically.
right.
What all type of events do you host?
Pretty much like all types really. Like I've done fashion shows, I've done, of course the celebrity events, I've done, you know, uh store grand openings. Like it's pretty much I can take it any kind of way a person would want me to. And that's what's so good about the thing because it's like I can turn a switch and then like I can have different creative ways of hosting instead of just doing like rappers or R&B artists. It with hosting you can take it any type of way you want.
Yeah.
And that's what I do love about it. You just gotta kind of you got to know when to turn things on and off. Like, okay, I know
Yeah.
I got to turn up the crowd and be a little hood,
Yep.
with the rappers, but with the
Right.
R&B ones, you got to be soft. With fashion shows, you got to turn that switch on and be like, okay, this is a fashion gig.
Yes.
Like, so it's like that's what's so good about it though. And I think that's why my passion grew for it because it was just like one of those things like it don't always have to be the same. You just got to
Absolutely.
learn how to do different things with it. Now, some people, I mean, regular club hostings and rappers, that's just what they want to do in their career. But I didn't come into the business wanting to do that. Like,
Right.
I knew deep down, okay, I can do this with it. I can do that with it. I can do a lot of things different with it. So why not just try it out? Yeah, some things I may feel like is not for me, but I
Right.
still do it anyway because I know I can.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just all around the board with me. Like I can do whatever.
Absolutely. And I think that's what keeps us enjoying it because, like yourself, that's what
Yeah,
I've done. I've hosted so many different types of events. Just
yeah,
like
yeah.
Sunday, I hosted a producer cook up, which was something different.
Cool.
It was fun. It was very intimate. It was at a beautiful studio out here in Atlanta. So, we have to dive in. And like you said, some of them may not be our favorite. Like I hosted a fashion show. I was kind of okay with that, but I was like, yeah, I don't think this is one that I want to do all.
But and see, excuse me. To me, I felt the same.
It was a little too
Like
bougie for me.
it's like it's not. It's like to me, it ain't really bougie. It's just like one of those things. It's very settled. And
Yes.
see, I'm used to like that hardcore, like that energy. Like I'm
Me
used to
too.
like mainstream crowds, like going nuts. I'm not used to just people just sitting in the crowd and they're just,
Right.
but
Right.
whatever it is that a person need me to do, I will turn on that switch, turn this switch off, and I just do it because, like, I know I can. It may not be my favorite, but if someone was to book me for that, I would be all for it. Like,
Absolutely.
you know,
What is one of the shows that you hosted? I know obviously you said
mhm,
your first one was Young Dolph, and that's so
yeah,
memorable because he's no longer with us. But
yeah.
what is one of your highlight moments from one of those shows that you hosted that you're like, man, that was just one of the best nights ever?
The Migos for sure. The
Yeah. It was in
Migos
your
and
city?
yeah, huh?
It was in your city?
Yeah, It was actually at the Von Braun Civic Center here. It was him, Lil Durk, and A Boogie. So it was all three of them. But yeah, so that to me, that was like my very first mainstream hosting show. So, for me to be on a huge stage and like the arena feel, it's like so to me, it was like when I was on that stage, it gave me like the reality of where I could be
Yes.
in the business. Like I was like, God, because around that time I'm used to doing celebrities in the club, like hosting all these celebrities in different clubs in the city and all this stuff. But see, when I touched the stage like that, it gave me a different light, like to what it could be like, if I was to really just pursue and keep going and getting bigger. Like I'm like, yeah, I could touch these stages a lot. Like, yeah, I was like, I like this. Because it was just the energy. Like the energy, you can say little catchy things in the crowd. They're participating, like they're supporting you. It ain't really no nitpicking, no evil eyes, no none of that. It was just like genuine good energy from the crowd. So by far, that was like one of the main ones that I would say that made me feel like that. And then like the second was Mulatto. So when I did Lotto, and that was like a car show event. So between those two, it was like those are like unforgettable moments for me.
I love it. And
Yeah.
all these hostings that you've done has actually won you Best Female Host in Alabama twice.
Yes,
Congratulations, first
ma'am.
and
Thank
foremost.
you.
Okay, where are the awards at? You should have had them front and center and
Girl,
show
at
us
the
off.
house, and then and I'll be honest with you, one of them I ain't even got because I wasn't able to attend. So it was like they sent me the stuff for them to mail it to me, and I just did not do it because I be having a
Understood.
lot going on. Not
I
saying
get
I
it.
just don't support or none of that, but I got one of them at home.
Okay. It
But the
happened.
other one is still, where the show be, in Birmingham, basically. But it's okay. I know I got them. Like I said, they always make sure I have visuals of them, so I'm
Yes.
good.
Listen, how does it feel to have been awarded for your hard work and going back to saying that this wasn't something that you necessarily was even trying to pursue and then fast forward, you're getting awards for it. How does that feel?
It felt great, to be honest with you. Like, and even back to that, I didn't even expect to win nothing. Like, like the first time I won, I tell you the experience. Like the first time I won, I had to find out from somebody that was there. Because they came in, they was like, you won best female host in Alabama. And I'm like, what? Hold on, like, excuse me? Because I didn't even like, to be honest with you, I didn't even have anything to do with anything. So naturally it was just people on the outside voting for me, but I didn't know that they were. So it was like one of those things where dang, like people are really starting to pay attention to me. Like, and it was like one of those things like, okay, well, if I ever feel like I'm being unnoticed, I am being noticed because
Yes.
to win awards for the state like that, like, and of course it's not the whole world. I get it. But just to say that, okay, you're one of the best of the whole state, that's like something that, I really just feel like I kind of lost it because I'm like, oh my God, like really?
That's a major, major
Yeah.
accomplishment. Absolutely.
So
Even if you're nominated and don't win, just to be nominated and acknowledged
exactly.
is still a huge accomplishment. And
Exactly.
but you took the award. Boom,
Yeah,
you
I
got
took
that
it
two
and didn't
times.
even realize it. And that's just like the second one. That was like last year. And I'm like, I wasn't even expecting to win either last year. It was just one of those things like, you just find out and you just be like, wow. Like, well, thank you.
Yeah,
I thank you to all my supporters. Like, I love y'all.
Absolutely, because
So
without our supporters, those things don't happen, so
you're right.
absolutely
You're
a shout
right.
out to them. Let me ask you this, woman to woman, we're both females in this music industry. Do you feel like it's a little tougher for a woman to get to higher levels, doing things the right way in this industry?
Most definitely. Like, I just feel like women have to we as women have to work harder than men. We know that. Because with the music industry, any type of thing dealing with this type of industry, it is mainly men.
Yes.
So it's like, for a man to look at another man, it's like they're gonna take another man more serious than they would a woman. So that is our job to pretty much stay 10 toes down on what we do, and just know that and show them like, okay, yeah, you're a male, but I'm a female, and I can do it too. Not trying to say, okay, I can be in a male shoes, because we can't ever be men. We know that it's things that men do that women can't do, and at
Nor
the
do I
same
want to
time,
be.
yeah, like, it's things that, women just feel like we can just do everything a man can do. That's not always true, because it's a lot of things like my husband do, and I know for a fact I can't do that.
Fact.
But
That
it's
is
just,
fact.
yeah, exactly. So it's just like one of those things. I feel like we gotta grind harder. We gotta get our respect more, and in a way, like, to make them understand, yeah, she's serious. Like,
Right.
she's not one of them, basically. Like, she's really gonna hustle. She really gonna do what she got to do. Hell, she might be better than me. You know what I mean? Like, so you gotta just put that in their face, and when they start understanding and realizing that you are serious about your craft, and you do have a passion for it, then they start looking at you different. And to
Absolutely.
be honest, women are winning right now. We winning, like,
I agree.
musically. Women winning, like, because you gotta look at the Glorillas, all of them. Like, they have really took over the industry, and it
Yes.
really helps a lot of women coming up too, because it's just like one of those things. Like, okay, well, you got people on those levels that's really doing it, and now they got men's approval.
Yes.
So, it's just, but it is harder. It's definitely harder for us. But, long as you get out there and you put it in their face and you keep it in their face, they ain't gonna have no choice but to respect it. So,
Uh, Period.
you
Absolutely.
know,
They may not like me, but they're gonna respect me, and
that's
that's just
right. That's all I care. You ain't gotta like me, baby, but you gotta respect me though.
that. Absolutely. You gonna respect it.
You gotta
Um,
respect it. Like,
any young ladies out there that are just starting out that maybe want to get into the field of hosting that don't know where to start, what tips, piece of advice could you offer any young ladies that are just starting out doing what you're doing?
I mean, I would just basically tell them to just get out there and start networking. That, to be honest with you, when I started back then, of course, we didn't have the resources that they have now. Like, back then, we didn't social media wasn't huge back then. Like, you weren't seeing a lot of people getting famous off of social media, or just posting, you getting millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, I would still tell them to go do the footwork. You can go on social media. If that works for you, do it, because it's a different time and era. Like, this
Yes.
generation is different than how we came up. So they have a different way of how they feel like they want to make it. But to me, I feel like that interface, that footwork, that outside grind, you can never ever compare, because it's like they're seeing you in action, face to face. You going to them directly. See, because
Yeah.
that's what I used to do. I used to, when I feel like music or hosting, whatever, like, I was outside. Like, I
Yeah.
was meeting different people. I was in their face with it, like, like linking up with DJs, trying to network with different people in and out of town. Like, I'm really putting some work in, because that's all I knew how to do. And that's what we had access to back then. But now it's like, you have social media.
Right.
Feel like you got content out of this world. Go ahead and do it, baby. Because, content nowadays is what is getting people famous.
Yes.
It's like, if you got visuals and a good attention span from, the people, then you can make it easy.
Yes.
But see, I'm not used to that. So it's
Right.
like, my problem is me being content on social media. I'm not content on social media, because I didn't come up like that. So I'm more of an interface type of person.
Yes,
Like, I'd
absolutely.
rather meet up, sit down, let's squash this out, let's hash out business this way. But I'm not one of those people that's consistently going on social media. And I could do it, but it's like it's not me to do.
No,
Like,
absolutely.
it
I
ain't in me
remember
to do. So
we used to get out there at 2 in the morning putting flyers on people's cars and handing them out when they were
yep.
coming out of clubs. That was our how we because Instagram didn't exist back then. So we were
And
literally beating the
like
streets.
hard copy CDs, like
Yes. Yeah.
printing up copies, putting the names on. Like, I used to be out there. I used to give mine out for free. Like, people that wanted to give donation, that's fine, but I wasn't charging nobody for it. Now, if you go download on Apple Music, iTunes, and all that, then you have to pay for it.
Right, right, right.
But me giving it to you out in the street, like, that was my way. Like, being in the streets and having it in the car. And if I see somebody at the gas station, he go, hey, listen to this. Or this my album. Check this out for me. Let me know what you think. Like, cause we didn't have no social media, and like you said, Instagram didn't exist back then. So
Absolutely, 100%. Shout out to Antoine checking in. And he said, and I have great interviews, definitely. Miss B is one of them. Make sure you follow her. Follow her.
yes,
We're going to give out your social media at the end, but while he's tuning in, tell him your Instagram and stuff where they can follow you at.
you can follow me on Instagram at Miss B256, Facebook Kendra Barbie Fletcher Petway, TikTok Miss B the Barbie. So pretty much that, because I don't even be on all of them. I just be on the main ones.
Yeah, me too. I'm mostly on Instagram. I'm on
Yeah,
Facebook a little bit, but Instagram is
yeah.
it for me. TikTok, I don't really get into that too much.
I be on there. I be on there just trying to keep the wave going.
That's it. That is it. That is it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So let's talk about girl code fashion and accessories. I see that sign behind you. Link to the sign. Let's see the sign real quick. Yes, sign is beautiful, just like you.
Thank
Um,
you.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Tell us, where this idea came from for you to open up your own shop.
Well, pretty much the idea came like from it was back in because it's been open 5 years. So it was an
Congratulations.
idea. Thank you. So it's been an idea to where, like, you want women to feel beautiful about themselves.
Yes.
That was like the whole key of starting a business. Pretty much making people feel like they are beautiful inner and out.
Yes.
Because you have so many women that fight depression, and then us as women, we have so, like, we're always in a competitive state because it's like one of those things like, okay, well, my butt ain't big enough, like, I ain't thick enough, I ain't light enough, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's always a competitive sport for women in their look. So I'm big on fashion. I like to dress nice. Like, I just feel like, the idea came from just trying to make people feel good about themselves. Like, it was just, okay, well, if I like fashion, I want to help people look and feel good about themselves too, and give people that confidence. It's about confidence. When you
Yes.
have confidence in yourself and you look good, it makes you feel better. So, it's one of those things like just, starting something new, don't even realize exactly what you're doing. You just like, okay, well, girl, I like clothes. Let's just get into it.
Absolutely. Because
you know?
putting on some nice clothes, having your hair done, it makes
Yeah,
you
it makes you feel good.
it does. It does. It changes your whole demeanor of how you feel. Is there a way for people to shop with you online if they're not physically able to come to the store?
Well, physically, like I said, anybody, the website has been being worked on still, but
Okay.
websites take time. And that's what
Yeah.
people don't realize. Like, websites are one of those things, like, if you don't have it all the way down packed, you're going to be finding yourself working on it for a while. And
Yes.
that's okay. But I still give people the option, if they want me to ship them something and they like something, I have no problem with doing so. So, everybody still has access to anything in the store. It's just you have to just say what you want and send me your address, baby, and I'll ship it to you. Like,
Oh,
So it's still ways of doing it without a website. You just have to be creative
yeah.
until
Oh,
that's done.
absolutely. And,
you
and
know?
that's where TikTok could come into place because they have
Yeah.
TikTok shop. You could be on
Yep.
there showing what you have and selling it through TikTok. There's people who make a
Yeah.
ton of money. I scroll through
Girl.
the lives on TikTok. Now, that's one thing I do like about TikTok is you can stumble across a bunch of random people's lives that you don't follow.
Sure can. Yeah.
Where on Instagram, you have to be following them to see their live or, maybe go to their page. I see a lot of people on there selling clothing and merch. So I mean that could be an idea.
For sure. Like you got millionaires on there. For sure.
Yes.
Just off of selling just, and it don't even have to be nothing, just it could be random stuff. And it's
I
like they're making a sale out of it.
I'm
So
gonna show you what I bought on there. Hold on.
you bought some stuff.
I bought one of these little diffusers on there. Yeah, I haven't even plugged it up and tried it.
God, girl. When did you buy it and you didn't?
I keep forgetting to take it because I want to take it to my actual podcast studio. I told you I'm at the house right now and it's sitting on the floor. So I'm going to put it up here right now that I'm talking about it so I don't forget to take it to my actual podcast studio.
Don't forget.
That is so funny. So do
That's
you,
that part when life come in place and you be having a
girl,
lot
you
going
can be
on.
so busy. It's like when I walk out of here, I don't think about taking anything with me.
Nothing.
You know, I'm just like,
Just the stuff you need and I'm gone.
exactly 100% my laptop and that's about it.
Yep, that's right.
So do you allow like local brands and stuff to put their merch in your store?
I don't like, I've had a lot of people ask that, and it's not that I'm against it.
Sure.
It's just like you have to find ways that it'll equal out for your business and theirs. Like,
Right.
because you have some people that feel like they can do that, and their attitudes don't be right when they come in, and then it turn into a whole situation that you wasn't expecting.
Right.
So, just to avoid just to avoid any type of, issues with it, I just don't do it. Now, me supporting people with brands, I have no problem with doing that. You can bring it to me, I can wear it, I send the message out to other people, no
Yeah.
problem. But it's just, I've definitely had that over the years, people asking like, okay, well, and I just turn it down just so I can prevent problems in the future happening.
I don't
Yeah.
blame you at all, at
Yeah.
all. 'Cause with me having my own podcast studio, I've had people ask, can they come and rent it? And I'm like, no, I built it for you. Because you know how
No,
people are, they don't respect your space
they
the way
don't.
you do. So
Mm-mm.
girl, I don't blame you at all. I would be doing it. If I had a shop, I'd do it the same way you're doing it. No, no
Yeah.
shame, but they need to go get their own shop.
Exactly. And it's possible, and if you need help along the way, with anything, I'm there to help. But it's just about you bringing what you already have into somebody else's. It's like, I personally wouldn't want to do that if I had a brand. I would want to have my own
Absolutely.
because, you can do more.
Listen, I agree. For years I worked out of other people's studio, and it's just
Yeah.
not the same as having your own because you walk in and sometimes it's messy or stuff is missing. I'm
Yeah.
like, I ain't got time for all that. When I walk into my space,
Right.
it's exactly how
Your
I
stuff
like
coming up missing.
it. That is so true. Exactly.
Yeah, like girl, no, you work too hard for your stuff. If you don't, nothing of mine need to come up missing.
That's facts. That is facts. And that's why I tell the same thing. People, I like, nope, I don't rent the space out. I built it for me and me only. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm trying to tell you, and that's okay.
Definitely, definitely. I know that you're interested in getting into like management. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, like, even before I had the thought, I've always had a few artists be like, can you manage me? And I'm just like, I always had in the back of my mind to do it because I'm just like, my passion too is I love trying to put people in the positions that they need to be. Like if I have a little platform and I feel like I can help somebody, it makes my day brighter,
Yeah.
and I know you can't help everybody in today's time because everybody just don't appreciate the help that you give. But it's like one of those things, like I do want to get into artist management because, I just feel like I can physically do it. Like, I feel like I can move around and I can get indoors where they can't. And in a way
Right.
it's just like, I just feel like it's something on my sleeve that I do want to get into, not right off, but eventually I do want to add that onto my belt line in a way.
So let me ask you this. What would it take within an artist for you to say, you know what, this is somebody I would be open to managing?
They gotta have drive. They gotta have drive. They got to be really, really serious about their craft. Like you can't be lazy. Like, I don't want to deal with people that just want to get online and just do ciphers all day. Like, I want to see people that, pretty much putting the work behind it, like recording video shoots, doing interviews. You trying to help yourself be known on your own. So it's like I see the work ethic in you. Like, I don't want to deal with anybody just feel like, okay, well, I'm just going to do one thing. I'm not going to record. I'm not going to do any videos. I'm not going to, I'm just going to wait till somebody come pick me up off of social media. And some people get lucky. Don't get me wrong. Like, if you feel like you can do that and you can get lucky and get famous and picked up off of it, go for it, because social media is powerful now,
Yes.
you
Right.
know, but it's, I'm old school. So it's like I want to see the actual grind from it all. Like, I don't want to have to babysit nobody. I want you to kind of come with something in a way that I can work with. So, yeah, like they
Yeah,
gotta have it a little together.
absolutely. You can't want it more than them. Period.
Yeah, exactly. Like, for sure.
So what's coming up for you? Do you have any shows lined up that you'll be hosting that people can attend?
Right now, no, it ain't really much that, I plan on doing for now, because I'm trying to put my focus onto things that, I feel like needs this attention. Like, the mixtape we just put out, like that's a baby. So it's
Tell
like
us
a
about
newborn
it.
baby. So it's like, Female Rabbit Alabama 3 was one of those things that, I partnered up with Kim Bibbs in Birmingham. So I am hosting that one. But yeah, we put it out. It's an all female tape pretty much, and it is out now on Live Mixtapes, and it's just pretty much has like a lot of different females all over Alabama that's featured on this album. So pretty much it's just like, we want to do more with that. So the focus right now is just trying to keep building that, getting, eventually starting up showcases and, doing ciphers and getting, some of these girls' names bigger than what they are. So, it's some, because it's a lot of known females on there like that's within Alabama that I feel like could be a lot farther.
Yeah.
But it's just like, they need that push. So, right now that's my focus. It's been on, other than, day-to-day life stuff.
Listen, it
you
be
know.
so much going
But
on, right?
life be life, and honey.
Life be
Like,
lifing.
like the bills ain't stopping.
No, definitely are, and they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh my God. Like, everything is so expensive. So it's like
Yes,
at this time and area of life, you gotta do more.
right.
It's not even uncommon. It's not even common for people to be like, okay, I'm late on this bill now.
No, you are absolutely right because, like,
Please,
you go to the grocery store, you spend $100, you walk out with a bag maybe this big, and it's like,
girl.
I didn't even buy it. Gas prices,
Five
everything.
items and it's $100.
It's insane. And when you have a place of business, you got rent on that, the
Yep,
space that you're renting.
yep.
Like, people don't understand.
And
And
that
then
has nothing to do with your home.
nothing. It's totally separate.
Totally separate. So it's like, it's just it's so common now for people to be like, well, I'm late on this bill, and people don't even care now, because they
Right.
like, okay, I'm gonna pay them when I can.
It's so funny.
Get it.
It's funny because I had just I lease my vehicles now because as a business owner, it's more of a write-off to lease my vehicles, right?
Right.
So I just went last week because my lease was up on my car. So when I was at the dealership picking out my new vehicle, me and the sales guy were talking about the way the economy is, and he put me on game with something that I didn't know. He said that if you at least make a portion of your car note and can't make the rest by the due date, technically they can't give you a late payment because you paid something towards it. I was like, I never
Something
knew that.
towards it. Right.
I was
Yeah.
like,
But that's why I said, if you can pay a little bit, pay a little bit. But if you
right.
can't even pay the whole, I be telling, don't even stress, honey. Like, because at the end of the day, life goes on. Like,
Yes.
if you can't do it, don't kill yourself trying to figure it out. Just figure it
Right.
out on the way when you can. Because
Yes.
people really do, they be so, stressed out, and it's like, people end their lives for that.
Yes. You are right.
It's
Mental
really
health
not
is real.
worth it. Like, it ain't
Mm-mm.
worth it. Like, nah. Just, they'll get it. Just talk to
No.
them and tell them you gonna get
And,
it when I can give it to you.
and that's the thing, that communication. Keep your line of communication open.
That's all you gotta do. Let them know, look, I'm not missing it on purpose.
Right, right, absolutely. And I think
Yeah.
so many people are going through the same thing. Like, I talk to a lot of business owners, small business owners and bigger business owners, and they're just saying that business is just slow right now because, like you said, the economy is everything's so expensive. And then,
Yes.
and it's the time of the year we're in. Things start slowing down because people are saving for Christmas, they're saving for
Yeah.
holiday trips. So, like you
Hmm.
said, we can't stress ourselves out over it because
Yeah.
this too
No.
shall pass, right?
No. It'll get better. Like,
Yeah.
and if
And
it
that
don't, you
income
just
tax
gotta
check
figure some
rolls
things
in.
out. That's it. Find something else to do. That's it.
That's right, multiple hustles. We have to
Do
have
something
multiple.
else. Like, baby, if you gotta work 2, 3 jobs, do it. It don't
That's
even matter.
right. Don't be ashamed, and that's the what I tell a lot of these
Uh-uh.
artists. It's okay to have a 9 to 5. It's okay to work a job
Yeah,
because you got
most
to be able to pay the
definitely.
bills.
Cause I
Definitely.
do
So
like I still work a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? And been doing it for the last 10 years.
yeah,
So it's just like you can still do different things and still work, but it's like you have to kind of just balance it all. Is it easy? No, it's not. But you can do it. You just got to
yeah.
put your mind to it. Like you know,
No, that is facts, and I've always said that I've been an entrepreneur and haven't worked a job in about probably going on
and that's a
11
blessing, girl.
years. But I said if I absolutely had to step back in that workforce, I would do it. I wouldn't be too proud to do it because
Right.
things gotta happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right, right, right. And like
definitely,
I said, I just think, the business came after I was already working at my job and I like my job. So
yeah,
it's like I can take my day job and do things with it too. Like, so it's just like,
yeah.
nah, I'm gonna stay here because
It's a
it's working
win-win.
out.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
So now if it's working out, then you keep it. But when you see it's not working out, then you make some changes. So that's
Facts.
just how they go.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I appreciate you giving us some of your time tonight. I know I
No
kept you for a while.
problem.
I know we gave it out earlier, but anybody that may have caught this a little bit late, tell them one more time where they can follow you on your socials.
You can follow me on Facebook, Kendra Barbie Fletcher Petway, and then on Instagram it's at Miss B256. TikTok and Snapchat is at Miss B the Barbie. Those are the only ones I use. That's the only ones I worry about. I'm not on Twitter. I was on Twitter, but I don't be on Twitter.
Shout out to Jay Zador checking in. He said that my guest is so pretty. Ain't she beautiful?
Oh,
Ain't she
thank
beautiful?
you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah, he's a dope artist. He actually interviewed twice with me fairly recently. So yeah.
Cool.
Definitely. Who do you want to give a shout out to, give thanks to for that's, someone that's been supporting you or the people that have been supporting you?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank God. You cannot live life and not thank God first before anything because He is everything and He's going to make everything possible for you long as you believe and you keep the faith. So I will say Him first and foremost. Of course, my family, my husband, my close friends, like, everybody, even regular people that don't even know me for real, but they support me. I have to give a shout out to them too because without them, like it wouldn't be possible on what I have going on, because you have to have genuine support. Of course, shout out to Ken Bibbs, the person that I partner with the female rap in Alabama 3.0. Shout out to DJ Kill Switch 334 out of Montgomery. He was the producer for the mixtape. Shout out to KK Niles. He was the engineer for the mixtape. So, just pretty much all over the board. I want to thank everybody for, sticking in it with me. I'm not done yet. It may be taking some time, but I ain't done yet.
I know that's right.
Yeah, it ain't over. Like, but you gotta let it take its course. Everybody got a time, and
Yes.
you just have to keep working till that time hits. And that's just my overall focus. So I just appreciate and love everybody that love me. And if you don't like me, I really don't care because you're not
We
gonna
don't
stop
care.
what I do.
It don't even exist
You
in
should
our
just get over it by now. Like,
Get over it. People
get
are so
over it.
weird.
Like,
Yes.
it's
And I wanted to
okay.
say one more time to your mom. She said she's so proud of you. I love that. Shout out to your mom for checking in. That was so
And of
beautiful
course,
that she took the time.
that lady there, and I have to give her a special shout out because like out of anything that I've ever been through in life, my mom has been there for everything. She has always been my backbone. She has always been there when I'm feeling down, all that type of stuff. So shout out to my mama,
If you come to
and
Atlanta,
I love you.
bring her with you so we can
I
go have a
sure
girls' night
will. We
I would love
definitely need to
that.
link in person. So yeah, whenever yeah, she'll definitely be somebody that I bring, or it'll be her and my husband, because them two there is like we neck and neck.
That's fine. Bring her with you. Let's go do lunch or something. I
Yeah,
would love
for
that.
sure. We
So
will.
you
Let
heard
me
that,
get it.
Marissa. You're coming to the A soon. Definitely. I got one last question for you. We're
Yeah.
live. Industry's most wanted.
wanted.
What makes Miss B the industry's most wanted?
Because you gotta think about it. Look at me. And
Look at
listen to
her.
my mindset. It ain't even about looks, but you gotta listen to the mindset of what a person carries. So I feel like the industry needs somebody like me, because I'm just gonna bring something different to the table. It's just gonna be an overall different type of thing. And I think the world needs to see different instead of the same. And I feel like, I'm going to bring that strong mentality of what a real woman should be and what a real woman is.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for taking some time with us tonight. I know, again, I took a lot of your time, but thank you for being here. And I can't wait to definitely meet you and your mother, your
Of
husband, everybody.
course, love.
Yeah, you got my contact information, so let's make
Yes,
it happen.
ma'am. Thank you, baby. So good to speak with you. And shout out to you. You keep doing what you're doing. I've been following you for a while, and I
Appreciate it.
support and salute you. And you're a beautiful person that has a beautiful spirit. So keep doing what you do, because
You
we
too.
strong women and we got to keep going.
That is facts. That is facts. And everybody that tuned in tonight, we appreciate you.